In today's world, how do you see curriculum's evolution with disruption of AI?
See, curriculum upgradation is being done by every institute now and then. They will be involving formal process for doing all these things, board of studies. They will involve the industry, academic experts and everybody. But one thing that we are missing in the age of AI is it required to learn everything about AI or to utilize AI towards doing something great for the society? So what is missing is what I felt was the connected curriculum. So how the various aspects of the curriculum are getting interconnected to each other. That is why we wanted to go with a new revamped curricular framework which interconnects the learning of the students right from the first year till the last year. I don't want to see the subjects or the year as independent standalone entities. Rather, I should see them as a connected entity. Because whatever learning that the student does in the first year, I would say it would surprise you, is enough for any student to get an opportunity with the IT industry at least. But in spite of studying after 4 years, they find it very hard to compete with AI and get a job in the job market. This is primarily because of the fact is that the learning that they do across the years is not compounding. Rather, it is just like reinventing whatever they learn across the years just before the placements. Rather, we wanted to make sure that these curriculum subjects are interconnected to each other and there is a continuity of learning across each and every year. More like a systematic investment plan, SIP we call as. We wanted to make sure that there is a compounding effect that goes into the learning of the student. Right? So we wanted to make sure that the curriculum is curated that way, that they are interconnected, and we wanted to ensure that every year once, whatever the student learns is being benchmarked across the national and international standards so that it tells the student where they stand in the global competition. So there are 3 parts for any particular academic program. One is the knowledge part, which the students gains through the subjects that they learn. Second is the experimentation part, where they put in their hands on to understand how the theory that they have learned is put into practice. An extended practice that we call it as skill component. So beyond the lab experiments that they do across the semesters, we wanted the students to go extensively practicing on the things that they have learned practically. That leads to the skill development of the students. Now, having learned it practically, extending it through practice, developing their skills, the next important thing is to apply their skills to show to the world that this is what I am capable of doing. That is what we call as competency. So this competency is assessed through the project incorporated across each and every year of study. So this new curricular revamp that we have done at Chandigarh University ensures that other than the knowledge, the practical, the student is introduced to the skills, and the application of all their learning and the skills gained across the year is being put into practice to develop some solutions to the problems faced by the society. So this solution is done in the form of a project. If it is in the early year, we call it as entry grade project. If it is in the mid stages of their program, we call it mid grade project. And finally, they conclude it with a capstone project. But the capstone project should not be one and only experience that the student should display to the world that this is what I am capable of doing. We wanted to make sure that every year's learning conclude with some kind of competency exhibition of the student, where the student displays to the world this is what I am capable of doing. So once the competency exhibition is done through project, it is going to enable them the opportunities through the internships. So in the revised curricular framework designed by Chandigarh University, we made sure that the students are able to learn things and display their competencies and take up opportunities after each and every year. Now, having done it in the first year of study, when they go to the second year, whatever additional learning that they do in the second year should compound to the first year's learning. So now the second year's project outcome will be an enhanced one, because they would have learned more subjects in the second year of study, plus whatever they have learned in the first year. So now the second year project will be of a much higher level. And the internships that are getting enabled after second year will be even better than what they have done in the first year. And in the third year, it is going to continue that way. So by the time they reach the final year, they will be completely prepared. They would have been able to build a profile of their own. Rather than saying that I am good at these subjects, they would have shown that I have developed 3 projects. As a result of that, I got 3 different opportunities in first 3 years of my study. So that will help them to easily find out the kind of companies where they wanted to work. Now a portfolio is completely built for the students.